one stylistic difference. And by the way, he's a political mastermind. So I should not be arguing against Governor Brown's approach. It has worked for him and it's worked for the state. I'm not constitutionally capable of being on certain issues as strategic as Governor Brown is in terms of when to engage. I tend to want to engage in everything early in the process. And that may be a liability, but it worked for me a little bit with Mayor. Also caused some friction and setbacks, so I've learned some things.
We have a lot of improvement to do. That's kind of one of the reasons I love running for this position. There's a lot of mismanagement and a lot of improvements I can make. I'm going to have fun turning around this state because we call it low-hanging fruit in the business world. There's a lot of low-hanging fruit in this state to improve, and I'm looking forward to building a team of business people like myself that will come into government and re-engineer it and reinvent it. I think it's horrendous. I think our education system, it has been in prior years the envy of the nation in California. It's not today.
Yeah, am I righteous about public education? Damn right. Am I concerned about public school teachers being demonized? You better believe it. And I said that before CTA endorsement.
What's a parent to do if they don't like what the school does, or they don't have the quality that they want, or the achievement that they want? How can these schools keep existing and keep getting funded every time?
So it sounds
Competition.
Like you're talking about school choice.
Absolutely, and that is vouchers to be sure. But I'm a fan of school vouchers and charters. But I mean, I believe in giving people a choice. It's the only real way that we're going to improve. And gosh, homeschooling is a wonderful alternative too.
I think I may be the first governor with young kids in decades, if ever. I have a 2, 4, 6, and 8-year-old. 2 of them have learning disabilities. 2 of them, one we're looking to transfer because we're not getting the support. Back to my example of different schools. We're talking to other parents about whether they're supplementing those supports. And then it's the pressure of, do we go to private school? Because there's schools that focus on people with learning differences. And it's your kid, and it's your one chance at life, and I'll take the hits because it's the right thing. And
I think the climate has always changed. I think the climate is changing. I think there are some aspects of it. I'm not sure how much humans cause it, or that we can do anything about it, or that it's even beneficial to do something about it, frankly.
The next governor has to be in the how business. I admire and appreciate and applaud the governor's leadership on signing MOUs under 2 and Pacific Coast Collaboratives, and I'm encouraging to get to that 100% renewable goal. And we certainly applaud him for his leadership on extending cap and trade and the goal to get to a 40% reduction in our greenhouse gas emissions below 1990 levels by 2030. The next governor actually has to deliver on all that and promote getting 5 million alternative fuel vehicles out on the street is a wonderful thing. The next governor has to figure out how to do that beyond the 300,000 plus that exist today. This is very difficult, very challenging. The good news is I love this stuff. This is in my wheelhouse. It's a point of passion.
I oppose the death penalty on financial grounds as well as moral grounds. I'm a Catholic, and I just don't believe in taking life.
I believe very, very strongly in keeping people that prey on innocent people behind bars for life if necessary. I just don't believe that we should, as a society, be systemically killing members of society.
But I believe in punishment, so I'm in favor of punishment.
Right. But as governor, would you allow for
Yes.
them to be executed?
Yes. I would. I also believe in the law, so I'm not going to put my own personal predilections ahead of the law.
I want to give the voters a chance. I want to give the voters a chance to reconsider.
I think a book that really impacted me was Free to Choose by Milton Friedman. The power of freedom and the human search for excellence, to me, is so much more powerful. And it kind of fits with the way I view government. I certainly think government is essential and government is important, but When government gets too much involved and is too stifling to individual liberty and individual freedom, I think that inhibits progress. I really do.
Built to last. Changed my mindset. There's a chapter around the tyranny of or versus the genius of and. It was a game changer to me. This notion it's one thing or another versus both and. It's a powerfully important book for businesses, but I think it has remarkable tenets as it translates to government and good governance. It's a management book. It's a book about best practices, a book about what makes organizations exceptional and what makes exceptional leaders. And it's not what you think. It belies a lot of common thinking. And it really was an impactful book over the course of my business life as well as my political life. I think that if you mean, should we repeal the Ellis Act, or rather, should we repeal Costa-Hawkins, which would afford that, I am concerned that it would have a chilling effect on housing production in the state.
I'm in the housing industry. I build apartments for $80,000 a unit in Indiana. And obviously, you know, here it's far, far higher. Now, obviously, the price of land is a differentiating factor between here and Indiana, but it's the regulations, the environmental regulations, the impact fees, and all the other costs that go into building that are just so astronomical here relative to other states. If you look around the world and you look and you know anything about economic history, you know that the history of price controls is not good. They never, ever work. You get less investment.
Do I believe in rent control? I'm a former mayor of San Francisco. Do I believe that we need to do more on preservation and on protection, not just production? Absolutely. And owner move-in evictions, Ellis Act evictions, making sure we're providing legal support, counseling services, not just rental subsidies for people that are on the cusp of displacement is profoundly important. I think there's a potential compromise. I know not everyone agrees with that, but the issue of affordability is the issue.
I want to see affordable housing. I want to see the cost of housing come down, and you know, the law of supply and demand has not been repealed. The only way to truly bring down the cost of any good or any service is with competition and supply. Oh boy, raise children. I don't know if you have children, but it's a difficult thing every single day because you've got to make decisions that you know are going to have an impact on a life going forward, and you don't know how it's going to turn out.
Raising kids, not even margin of error. It's intense. It's awesome. 2, 4, 6, 8-year-old. Balancing that, being a good husband, campaigning for governor, day job, business person, keeping it all together.